Your life begins to transform the moment you choose to think differently. And this, right here, could be that moment. This is Mindshift with Gitanjali, the space where you shift your mindset, rise above limitations, and reframe your reality. I'm Gitanjali, mindset coach, author, and your companion on this journey to rediscover the power that's already within you. Let's begin. And let's talk about the problem, the promise, the proof, and the plan. Problem: you want big change, a new habit, a new mindset, a new chapter. But every time you try to do it all at once, you burn out before you begin. Promise: what if real transformation doesn't come from giant leaps, but from tiny, daily moves that rewire your brain for lasting success? Proof: I've seen it in my own journey and in my coaching clients. One small, consistent action, a breath, a reframe, a pause, can shift an entire life when practiced with intention. What's the plan? In this episode, we'll explore the neuroscience behind why small steps work, how to use micro shifts to bypass resistance, and a few simple tools you can start using today to create momentum that actually lasts. If you join me for our first episode, Your New Beginning Starts Here, you might remember that moment where we paused and asked, what if this was the moment everything began to change? Take a moment to feel that again. That spark, that awareness was your first micro shift. Now I want to ask you something. What did you do with that spark? Did you notice a small change in how you responded or how you spoke to yourself? Even a few seconds of awareness, that matters. Because every transformation begins in those quiet, in-between spaces, the moments when you choose to think differently. And that's what today's episode is about, the secret power of micro shifts. We live in a world that celebrates the grand gestures, the overnight transformations, the dramatic makeovers, the new you stories. And yet, what sustains true growth isn't the big leap, it's the gentle, steady steps we take over time. Have you ever decided to change everything at once? You buy the planner, set the goals, and feel the excitement of a fresh start. But then, within days, life happens. Old habits creep in, motivation fades, and self-judgment follows close behind. Here's a compassionate truth. Nothing is wrong with you. Your brain is simply trying to keep you safe. It loves what's familiar, even if familiar isn't healthy. And when you push too hard, too fast, your system resists. And that resistance isn't failure, it's protection. Micro shifts work because they honor your biology. They meet your nervous system where it is. They create a change that feels safe, not overwhelming. Instead of asking you to leap, they ask you to lean, one small action at a time. Let's look at the science behind taking small steps. Your brain is constantly changing. That's called neuroplasticity. Every time you think a thought, feel an emotion, or take an action, you strengthen a pathway in your brain. If you often say, "I can't do this," that thought becomes a well-worn road. Easy to travel, hard to avoid. But when you begin to offer yourself a gentler thought like, "I'm learning to do this," you begin to pave a new path. At first, it feels uncomfortable, like walking through tall grass where there's no trail yet. But with repetition, that grass flattens. The path becomes easier. And over time, it becomes who you are. That's the power of small repetition, what I call the compound effect. Every small act compounds, not by addition, but by multiplication. One conscious breath, one kind thought, one small decision, each builds on the last. Let me tell you a story about Maya. When she first came to me as a client, she was exhausted from chasing perfection. Every plan she made was all or nothing, and nothing always won. Her first micro shift was simple: one slow exhale before checking her phone. A few days later, she added one line of gratitude at lunch. Then a soft body check before bed, jaw relaxed, shoulders soft, breath deep. 2 weeks later, she said, "I smiled today, and I don't even know why." 3 months later, she whispered, "I think I'm finally on my side." That's what micro shifts do. They help you build friendship with yourself again, gently, quietly, sustainably. Let's look at a tool here to help you. Let's make this practical. Here's a gentle structure to guide your small changes. I call it the 5-step shift sequence. Notice, name, nurture, next, note. Notice, catch the moment. Ah, this is when I usually react. Name, label what's happening. This is stress, this is fear. Nurture, add compassion. It's okay, I'm learning. Next, take one small action, one breath, one step. Note, acknowledge it. That was a shift. Each time you move through this loop of notice, name, nurture, next, note, your brain learns safety and change. That's how identity evolves, through kindness, not pressure. Here's a real story about Kevin, who once told me his mind felt like a computer with too many tabs open, noisy, scattered, overwhelmed. We started with one ritual, one page, one place. Each morning, he wrote everything on his mind onto a single page. No filter, no structure. Then he circled one small next step. Not 5, not 10, 1. Within 10 days, he felt clearer. Within a month, calmer. Within 3 months, he became more confident. That's what happens when you start small. Clarity replaces chaos. Consistency replaces confusion. And trust quietly takes root. Before we begin, let's take a moment to understand what visualization really means. It's a practice of using your imagination intentionally to create a mental picture of the future you want to experience. When you focus on that image and feel it with all your 5 senses, your brain begins to respond as if it's already happening. You're not just daydreaming, you're training your mind to believe in what's possible. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes. Take a slow, steady breath in and a long, full breath out. Now imagine it's 6 months from now. You wake feeling grounded. Your breath is steady. Your mind feels clear. You move through your day with a calm purpose, not rushing, just flowing. Stress appears, but you don't react. You respond. You take one conscious breath, one grounded pause. Now picture your future self standing before you, calm, centered, radiant. Your future self doesn't panic, she pivots. She doesn't rush, she responds. She honors her humanity. Ask your future self softly, what do you want me to know right now? And then ask, what's our next right micro shift? Whatever comes up, trust it. You are becoming your future self, one breath, one shift at a time. Here's an example of a daily micro shift plan for the week. Day 1, one conscious breath before leaving bed. Day 2, one kind word to yourself in the mirror. Day 3, one sentence written before work. Day 4, 1 minute stretch when you stand. Day 5, replace I failed with I'm learning. Day 6, look up at the sky midday. Day 7, write 3 small wins before bed. Tiny, human, powerful steps. Micro shifts don't require perfection, they invite presence. Show up, do the smallest next thing. Let your actions be gentle and consistent. Every time you keep a small promise to yourself, you strengthen the identity of someone who can be trusted by you. And that trust is the foundation of your transformation. You don't need to leap, you just need to lean toward who you're becoming. I can't wait to see where your journey takes you next. Join me in episode 3, Are You Living on Repeat? Where we'll explore how small, consistent awareness creates lasting transformation. Thank you for joining me today on Mindshift with Gitanjali. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message and subscribe for next week's episode. Every moment of awareness you create today builds the reality you live tomorrow. Keep rising, keep shifting, keep reframing, and keep becoming who you're meant to be. Rise, shift, reframe, become.